Okay. It's at this stage in the proceedings, right at the beginning, I actually regret not writing a set list and watching another episode of Gangs of London, but here we go. The taxman's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home, lazing on a sunny afternoon. And I can't sail my yacht, he's taken everything I've got. All I've got's this sunny afternoon. Save me, save me, save me from this squeeze. I got a big fat mama trying to break me, and I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, lazing on a sunny afternoon. Girlfriend's run off with my car and gone back to her ma and pa, telling tales of drunkenness and cruelty. Now I'm sitting here, sipping at my ice-cold beer. All I've got's this sunny afternoon. Help me, help me, help me sail away. Oh, give me 2 good reasons why I ought to stay. Well, I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, lazing on a sunny afternoon. In the summertime, in the summertime, summertime. Save me, save me, save me from this squeeze. Got a big fat mama trying to break me, and I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, lazing on a sunny afternoon. In the summertime, in the summertime, summertime. The Kinks, ladies and gentlemen, and summertime. I only wear a hat, stops the sweat coming down. If by closing my eyes when I'm singing, it's not because I'm mean, moody and magnificent, it's just sweat behind glasses stings. So it's more a case of pain relief than anything else. This would happen with me and the girl from Clapham, out on a windy common. That night I ain't forgotten. She'd held out the rations, a summer of her passion. I said, you were a lady. Perhaps she said, maybe. We moved into a basement with thoughts of our engagement. We stayed in by the telly, although the room was smelly. Spent our time just kissing, the railway arm went missing, and love had got us hooked up, and all that time it took up. I got a job with Stanley, he said I'd come in handy. He started me on Monday, so I had a bath on Sunday. Burned 11 hours and bought the girls some flowers. She said she'd seen a doctor, and nothing now could stop her. I worked all through the winter, the weather brass and bitter. I put away a tenner each week to make it better. When the time was ready, we had to sell the telly. Late evenings by the fire and little gigs inside her. This morning at 4:50, I took her rather nifty down to an incubator, where 30 minutes later, she gave birth to a daughter within a year, a walker. She looked just like a mother, if there could be another. And now she's 2 years older, her mother's with a soldier. She left me when my drinking became a plot for staying in. Devil came and took me from Barter Street to Bookie. No more nights by the telly, no more nights nappies smelling. Alone here in the kitchen, I feel there's something missing. I'd beg for some forgiveness, but begging's not my business. She won't write a letter, although I often tell her, and so it's my assumption I'm really up the junction. Oops, still on the distortion pedal there. I do apologize. One of my favourite ever songs. Hope you're enjoying it so far. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Little darling, the smile's returning to the faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, it feels that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun. It's all right. It's all right. Here comes the sun, ladies and gents. Thank you very much. In all these troubled times, there's one bonus that I really think that I enjoy. I fulfilled a lifetime ambition. Because when I was 6 or 7, growing up in Northumberland in my cowboy suit, I was never allowed to go into a bank or Tesco's looking like this. Now, I'm actually told I have to, so lifetime ambition to me. And the reason for this hat is this song. Raindrops keep falling on my head, just like the guy's feet got too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. So I just did me some talking to the sun, and I said I didn't like the way he got things done. Sleeping on the job, those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. Raindrops keep falling on my head, but that doesn't mean my eyes will soon be turning red. Crying's not for me, no, I'm never gonna stop the rain by complaining, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Oh yes, I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. But there's one thing I know, the blues they send to meet me won't defeat me. It won't be long till happiness steps up to greet me. And raindrops keep falling on my head, just like the guy's sheet got too big for his bed. Nothing seems to fit. Those raindrops keep falling on my head, they keep falling, because I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Oh yes, I'm free. Nothing's worrying me. Nothing's worrying me. One of my favourite ever films, but I've watched it about 7 times and I can't watch it anymore because they always do the same thing at the end, and I would have thought they'd learn. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it'll spoil the surprise, but you'd think they would have learned by now. This is an original song. It's called Bob and Terry. Secretly saluting single magpies, checking first there's no one else around, witnessing a certain type of madness that helps decide the choices for a clown. He's trying to fix a future like the weather, predictable for better or for worse. If only there were forecasts on the TV, straight after the news or maybe first. It is what it is. We are where we are. We are who we are, and what will be will be. Would it be the same? I on another day. And what would Bob and Terry say? What would Bob and Terry say? Giving over choices to something unseen, giving up the choice of having dreamed. Hope for best, plan for worst, and trusting is maybe not as crazy as it first may seem. It is what it is. We are where we are. We are who we are, and what will be, will be. Would it be the same on another day? And what would Bob and Terry say? What would Bob and Terry say? This fool waits for the future to be invented by architects who don't exist just yet. Things may not be as good as what is wanted, but maybe it's as good as it will ever get. Life is what it is. We are where we are. We are who we are, and what will be, will be. Would it be the same on another day? And what would Bob and Terry say? What would Bob and what would Bob and what would Bob and Terry say? Song called Bob and Terry. It's an old one. This is called Soul Down the River. We've been sold down the river, now we're drifting out to sea. Sold the wealth and the national health, and the rest we'll wait and see. And it's them themselves they're selling it for, not for them like me. We've been sold down the river, now they're selling us overseas. We're told the mines have had their times and it's empty underground. So let's pay more to the world next door to bring the cheap coal round. And if the yards had had their cards, there'd be no more ships to build. But look next door, they're building more, it's only us they've killed. And we've been sold down the river, now we're drifting out to sea. Sold the wealth and the national health, and the rest we'll wait and see. And it's them themselves they're selling it for, not for them like me. We've been sold down the river, now they're selling us overseas. Pirate eyes or private eyes, it's pretty much the same. One side steals the profit and then slides away the blame. The other side that owns it all is left to mend the mess. Pirate eyes or private eyes, let's just call it theft. 'Cause we've been sold down the river, now we're drifting out to sea. Sold the wealth and the national health, and the rest we'll wait and see. And it's them themselves they're selling it for, not for them like me. We've been sold down the river, now they're selling us overseas. once proud NHS. Now it shares millionaires and tax-avoiding guests. 'Cause the best reward is punishment if any dare get ill. We'll strip them of their livelihoods and make them pay our bills. We've been sold down the river, now we're drifting out to sea. Sold the wealth and the national health, and the rest we'll wait and see. And it's them themselves they're selling it for, not for them like me. We've been sold down the river, now they're selling us overseas. We've been sold down the river, now they're selling us overseas. We've been sold down the river, now they're selling us overseas. Been sold down the river. Do another Beatles song. This one's called Norwegian Wood. And reading into it, there's a sinister bit to it. Everybody thought it was just good old John Lennon having a bit of a extramarital sort of stuff. A lady saying no, so he warms himself up by a fire in the morning. But actually, the truth was, the song was because he didn't get what he wanted, he burnt the place down. In his dreams, I once had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good, Norwegian Wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. I sat on a rug, biding my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. Told me she worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the bath. And when I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit a fire, isn't it good, Norwegian Wood. I'm going to swap over guitars now, so excuse me a second. The budget guitar stands. Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Check ignition and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the day. And the papers want to know whose shirt you wear. Now it's time to leave the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I'm stepping through the door, and I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today. Here am I floating in my tin can, far above the moon. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Though I've passed 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell my wife I love her very much, she knows. Ground control to Major Tom, your circuit's dead. There's something wrong, can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? Am I floating in my tin can, far above the moon? Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Though I've passed 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And I think my spaceship knows which way to go. Tell your wife I love her very much, she knows. Ground control to Major Tom, your circuit's dead. There's something wrong, can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? Am I floating in my tin can, far above the moon? Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing I can do. Back and windows down, evening sun and seaside town, miles of empty coastlines in between. Best friends share the backseat, each one a star in both their dreams. And in front the radio makes a soundtrack. Friday night is music night and the Beatles on the 8-track. The open coast road rolling down from 2 lanes into 1 in the never setting sun's warm gate. Baseball boots and bootcut jeans, lazy denim faded dreams, bubblegum tattoos and feeling free. Summers in the 70s, down on the beach, the sand dune kings, and still the radio makes the soundtrack. Friday night is music night and the Beatles on the 8-track. The open coast road rolling down from 2 lanes into 1 in the never setting sun. Decades waves, time and tide, bigger footsteps, wider eyes, yeah, yeah, yeah. Standing there where we once stood, would I change things as if I could? The summer seems like an unfamiliar friend. Thought that we'd be friends for life, blood brothers with a pocket knife. Kids are older now than we were then, but still the radio makes the soundtrack. Friday night is music night and the Beatles on the 8-track. The open coast road rolling down and a radio makes the soundtrack. Friday night is music night and the Beach Boys on the 8-track. The open coast road rolling down from 2 lanes into 1 in the never setting sun's warm. Yes, they rob I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hand was made strong by the hand of the Almighty. We forward a generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Have no fear for atomic energy, for none of them can stop the time. And how long must they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it and we've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? 'Cause all I ever had, redemption song, redemption song. These songs of freedom, redemption song. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. have no cure for atomic energy, but none of them can stop the time. How long must they kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Some say it's just a part of it and we've got to fulfill the book. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? Is all I ever had. Redemption song, redemption song. These songs of freedom. Redemption song, redemption song. Redemption song, Mr. Marley. Song called It Must Be Raining. There goes my heart again on another line to another friend. Slips across the bridge and into a folding grin, leaving me the only one with beat-up eyes and a platform song. I'm torn apart by worries in the wind, and I'm singing, whoa, oh, oh, it should be raining, it should be raining, but the sun still seems to shine. Whoa, oh, oh, it should be raining, it should be raining, but the sun for once is out of line. There goes my heart again, and as I see her face I can't remember when she said through all the clouds the sun keeps burning. Now as I lose that heat, I think of all those flames that cheat and hide inside their laid back lines of learning. And still singing, whoa, oh, oh, it should be raining, it should be raining, but the sun still seems to shine. Whoa, oh, oh, it should be raining, it should be raining, but the sun for once is out of line. It should be raining, it should be raining, but the sun still seems to shine. Whoa, oh, oh, it should be raining, it should be raining, but the sun for once is out of line. Thank you very much. Is that it?